Welcome into another episode of the Bob Sullivan Show, presented by KB Building Services. Tonight, I will be joined by Nick Handley of the now Nick Handley Show on 590 ESPN Radio in Omaha. Nick and I went to Ray's Wings, which is in Midtown Crossing. Ray's is home to some of the best buffalo wings you will find, not only in Omaha, but in America. Nick and I enjoyed the hot buffalo wings, and Nick attempted one challenge wing. I decided to eat 5 stupidly. But we enjoyed our meal there, and here is the interview with myself and Nick Handley of 590 AM in Omaha. Awesome. To the Bob Sullivan Show here at Ray's Wings in Midtown Crossing in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm joined here by Nick Handley from OSI on 590 AM in Omaha. How you doing, Nick?
I'm great. Thanks for having me out.
Good. Well, is it still OSI?
It's not, and that's kind of the big exciting news, which will actually kick off on Friday, is that I can say that...
Well, the show won't air Friday, so we can break it.
Perfect. Well, and then as you tune in, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, 20 years in this business, I can proudly say I will now be hosting my own show. It'll be called the Nick Handley Show, and the circumstances set up as such where that was the direction we're going. Mm-hmm. And I've had some tremendous co-hosts in the past, and my recent co-host, Joe Quinn, decided he's going to get smarter and go to law school. So provided an opening, and that was the direction that management decided to go.
Well, congratulations on the Nick Handley Show.
Thank you.
I've tweeted this out, and I've said it to many people. I could listen to Nick Handley explain or talk about paint drying. That's how good of a voice you have. When I don't even care about Nebraska. It could be whatever.
I might get into paint drying. I just might describe paint drying just to see if that actually does appeal to you at some point.
You got to put it on YouTube. Actually, let's do it right now. Nick Handley, please explain paint drying.
Well, it's a great point, because my wife and I just painted our basement, and as we were applying one coat, just kind of waiting for it to just sort of release and just kind of expand and just have the natural process take over of drying. So we would reach the acquired color that we previously envisioned our basement to bring, yet the carpet, flooring, and furniture together while that paint continued to dry. I guess that's my best effort.
Without actually having paint drying in front of you, and for you to... I'll take it.
During that entire description, just imagine that the paint is drying while I'm describing it.
Well, it'd be like...
I'll take that as a compliment.
On the radio. That'd be like on the radio.
Yes.
Did you explain paint drying? Well, you're telling a story. You're painting a picture.
I think that's why I love radio, because in television, and I've dabbled just with some high school sports in television. Mm-hmm. You already have everything going your way. You already have everything sort of being described as well. You get into radio, you've got to, pun intended, paint the picture.
Right.
As you know, mm-hmm. It allows you to, and you might see something a little bit more unique than what the guy next to you might see. Right. And to be able to kind of describe that and kind of put your own identity on that too, I think is maybe one of the things that I love about radio more than anything.
Well, let's dig in here. We got some wings from Ray. I got medium hot wings with blue cheese, of course. What did you?
I went the buffalo medium.
Buffalo medium.
Yes.
And we also got some Ray's challenge wings here as well. These look all right.
Did they burn off your nostrils?
Yeah, a little bit. There's a little bit of
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are going to be good.
Those are going to leave a mark. So, let's dig in here. Let's have a first bite. Oh yeah. No.
It's solid.
So, okay, your first radio gig in Columbus, or was that your second one?
It was my first full-time gig. So I think the path for a lot of people's radio careers are some of the most interesting stories that I've ever heard. I listen to everyone's different paths, and they're all unique, yet they usually have some kind of common denominator. For me, I started out with just kind of doing some part-time hosting. Was doing stuff with 1620. Michael Severe, Kevin Kubler, when they were doing their show. Kevin would be up in the booth there in the CWS, so I was doing part-time stuff with 1620, and then so during the CWS, I'd have an opportunity to guest host with Michael, and I loved it. I absolutely fell in love with it, but for me, radio started all the way back when I was 20, covering high school sports, just starting out as a statistician, and then having to do a little bit of on-air stuff at one point, and then just really kind of got into that part of it as well, where, again, kind of when we talked about describing what you're seeing, it's one thing to be familiar with sports, it's another thing to be able to describe it.
Right.
And I never knew if I could do that in a way that could be a potential career for me. And so that was something that I always really enjoyed doing. But as you kind of got a chance to go a different level and just kind of talk about everyday sport topics, not necessarily what you're seeing in the moment, but what you are actually having a chance to formulate your opinion on and actually bring that opinion to people that are listening to you. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that was definitely something that intrigued me and something that I really enjoyed. So it was probably at that point where that was kind of what I always wanted to do. But again, radio, which in the part-time level, I mean, radio full-time isn't the most lucrative thing, but definitely as a part-timer, you're doing other things on the side. I was working for the city of Omaha. I was working at golf courses, working at an Elmwood golf course, mowing soccer fields. I mean, anything that I could have a little bit more steady pay and then be able to also have the freedom to freelance for broadcasting. So it wasn't until 2007 that a colleague of mine, David Gustafson, who I worked with, he was at K-Car and I was at 1620. He was a operations manager out in Columbus, and there was a job opening out there for the sports director, and he let me know that that was something going on, and so looked into it, felt that, you know what, this is a great opportunity to do it full time, but also take me out of my comfort zone, take me out of Omaha, take me into a different community, different area of Nebraska, and cover different things. And I loved every moment of it. And we had to wear so many hats. I mean, I consider Omaha, it's a small market.
Right.
But you get into the even smaller markets, smaller communities, you know, you've got to do your own production. I had to host an FM morning show on top of doing a sports talk show and on top of doing sports reports. And I mean, it was a blast and kind of getting inundated with all that stuff. But
doing prank phone calls to old ladies.
I was like, do I need to have the wacky FM voice guy, or do I just be who I am and just hope that's okay? I mean, it was different, but I met some great people along the way. I had a chance to coach baseball out there.
Yeah.
It was a great experience. I spent 6 years of my life out there. Actually worked there for 7 years. Commuted for 1 year from West Omaha to Columbus for an entire year. But then
that's like an hour and a half.
Yeah. Hour and a half there, hour and a half back.
How did you do that?
I was still trying.
You're motivated, obviously.
Well, but I was still just early in a lease with the house, so I had to wait for that to kind of resolve before I could actually move out there. It was a great opportunity. Learned a lot, got to experience a lot, have a big appreciation for that community and Columbus and the surrounding areas like Humphrey and David City. I mean, it was awesome. And you get to a point, though, where you're ready to take that experience and go on to something else. And I knew I always wanted to be back in Omaha. But, you know, at one point, you're just hoping that something will open up. So then I was kind of looking for, okay, is there something else out of state? Is there something that would make sense for me professionally? But I was thankful that the AM 590 job presented itself, I went for it, and that's where I've been since 2013.
Well, don't let me stop you from eating. But,
Oh, that's okay.
I think I had you on. It was early. It was really early. I think it was like. It was definitely in the first year of my show, and we got linked up through my former coach, Scott Pedrowski. Mm-hmm. And I had no idea, because he's like, yeah, he does play-by-play for UNO. And I was like, all right, I don't know what I'm going to talk about here.
Yeah.
And then I clearly didn't. You went through the interview, sure, knowing that I had no idea what I was going to ask. But there was just a bunch of like really vague questions that I was really good at asking at that time, and I've continued to move those vague questions into eating.
This is the gig right here. I mean, this is fantastic. But yeah, I remember we were talking, pretty sure Nebraska basketball was in the Big Ten tournament. Mm-hmm. And it was just, I think it was the year after they were in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, right.
And so I believe we were talking about them as they were getting ready to play in the Big Ten tournament. And it was either the year they made it or the year after. I remember being around that time. And I just remember that game did not go too well.
Did they? I think it was the year that they didn't make it. It was right. 2011. I think.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
But, yeah, it was. And then, like, see, a bunch of people benefited from the Bob Sullivan Show appearance. Severe got the bottom line.
Yep.
Matt Schick went on to ESPNU.
Yep.
You get 590. I mean, watch out.
This is an impressive alumni group you have.
Well, that Alyssa Lang, who's on like ESPN now, I had her on when she was at South Carolina, like on their like broadcast.
I feel blessed. I mean, this is an impressive alumni group. Like, you need to have like a reunion.
All right. Well, we're back. Well, I guess not back. What am I talking about? I don't have commercials.
It's fine.
We're here attempting the Challenger wings. Excuse me, raised challenge wings. These look scary.
They do, and they've been sitting because of our rambling. They've been sitting for a while, simmering into that chicken.
All right, do you want drum? Do you want?
I think I'm gonna do drum.
Drum.
Yeah.
I think that's the easiest way to go. Alrighty.
Go for it. I think there's one right over here I can snag.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Ooh, it's got a lot of sauce on it.
Yeah. Alrighty. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh dear. Oh. Woo. And there's. Oh no. They're powder too.
Yeah.
Could you do 12 of these?
No. I'm just hoping I can do this whole thing. So in the challenge, you cannot dip this or drink any water.
Oh God. Like kick.
My tongue has a pulse. Ooh.
That
You did good work on your end. You just down that thing.
yeah. I'm gonna go number 2.
Is it not as hyped up as you thought it would be?
No, it is.
This is hot. Oh. Ooh.
Look at this. It's like a newborn baby. This is well, that's how you know you get good sauce, is when.
Wow.
Would you ever do hot ones?
Hot? I think I might.
My tongue is going numb.
Yeah, I think after the first bite, mine started developing a pulse. And now it's just laughing at me.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's when you breathe.
Well, I eat bananas after this.
Bananas, okay. I always hear drink milk.
Well, I'm not talking about to cool the burn in your mouth. I'm talking about
You're talking about the potassium in a banana.
the after effects.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh, I will give him credit. Ray makes a damn good sauce. It's just hot as fuck. I'm sorry. Sorry to the high school kids that may be listening to this, but these are.
It's got a little pep.
No.
It has a little pep. Yep. Now the lips are. I feel like I've been out in the sun for 18 straight hours.
Well, this is going to be bonus feature. I'm going to put this on.
Oh boy.
Did you?
Now here comes the nose runs.
Did you?
See, I'm getting a delayed fuse here, I believe.
Did you have to clear this with the bosses?
Not really.
Did you say?
I said
I'm going on the Bob Sullivan Show.
I just said I'm going on a podcast and like a YouTube channel type podcast. We're gonna eat, talk some whatever, and oh man, so you're going for it.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore.
You don't have to.
Oh.
If you wouldn't mind sticking around,
No,
me ask a few more questions while I eat
fine.
these.
Oh.
You know. I don't know if.
I'm trying to put on a brave face here. It's not easy.
No, this is absolutely miserable.
See, this is my contact. I'm pulling out my contact finger. That's going to have to be washed thoroughly.
I would. Son of a bitch. This is terrible.
Oh. So how many in 6 minutes?
12 in 6 minutes.
With no water.
No water, no blue cheese.
No blue cheese. I feel like that's not humanly possible.
Starting in on there's no way.
Like, you ever watch I've never watched anything other than see, we're getting laughed at by
Hot dog eating contest?
yeah, that they have the hot wing challenges and they go by like, well, I mean, there's the man versus food. They go after the hottest wings and stuff.
Yeah.
How can you? I guess you have to get used to it, build up a tolerance. I don't think I'd want to build up a tolerance for this. Like my tongue is watery.
Yeah, I don't think there's any cooling this fire.
So knowing your limits on your heat. Oh, it's hot. Yeah. Everybody wants to get a peek. See what's going on over here. Like, oh, they're really doing it? They might think you're doing the challenge. So there might be some spectators that think you're going for it.
I don't even know what do you win? The blown out colon? I mean, like
they pay for your next doctor visit or your next colonoscopy.
the next colonoscopy is well.
Oh.
Have you watched those hot ones? Like the hot wing?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Well, Jesus. They eat 10 wings that gradually get hotter.
That would, like, does that help you get used to it? Like, that's the big question.
I don't think it does. I don't think it does for some of these.
I have so much respect that you're trying to conduct an interview while going through pure agony. I know what I've experienced going through one. That was what, your third?
Yeah. Would you mind sticking around for two more?
Do it.
You sure?
I want to see how this goes.
All right.
You're a fighter.
All right.
I don't know. I might have a longer drive home than you, so
I'm going to turn you. You ask me questions while I'm trying to eat these.
So can you describe to all the listeners, if you had to compare the experience you're going through related to a sports moment in your life? Ooh. Relate the experience you're going through right now to a sports moment in your life.
Okay. Well, everybody had those Michael Jordan baskets.
Yes.
And, you know, I did play high school sports, so this is not my most painful
our
experience.
Mutual friend, can we say his name?
Yeah, Scott Bedrosky.
Scott Bedrosky. The Bedroskys alone. I mean,
Bedro. Yeah.
Some of the best people you'll ever know. But Scott and I coached together. Nick, I've gotten to know through Scott.
Yeah.
Nick and Scott, it's like hyper and hyper. But so I know you play for Scott. So I believe that you play high school sports.
Actually, you can ask a Scott question here in a second.
I would love to.
But okay, so the Michael Jordan.
I have to wipe my nose. I ate one and I'm getting delayed effects. You're just powering through it again. Mad respect. But anyway, continue.
The Michael Jordan hoop. So me and my brother would play in the family. Well, my parents were watching Masterpiece Theater or whatever the hell they were watching.
I remember that.
And
I remember that show.
So, oh my God. So this is as painful as that. So we had a rule of no easy layups.
Okay.
And the Michael Jordan hoop, we had put it on top of like a trunk, like a storage trunk, to make it higher so that you'd have to jump. Well, I got a loose ball and I was heading for the hoop, and I tried to jump over my brother. He kicks out my legs and this scar right here hit the corner of the trunk, and had to go to Children's Hospital, emergency room.
Can I tell you one of the worst experiences I've ever heard involving basketball? While you're just going through agony, I want you to think of this guy's pain too. The guy I went to high school with, his name was Chaz. And
Michael.
It wasn't Chaz Michaels, but it would have been better. I don't know if I should say his name because he might still be kind of embarrassed by the story. So we had the elevator hoops that we all had where you could raise them up, and so we were playing 21. We had it set for like 8 feet, so we're all just dunking on each other. I think I was 14, 15 years old, and Chaz goes up, just flushes one, and he was a pretty decent basketball player in his own right. Goes up, flushes one, comes down, and just screaming. Like I mean, mind you, I was 14 or 15 years old, so I really hadn't lived yet. But I'd never heard any person around my age scream like that.
Yeah.
Well, we found out what happened is, so the hooks that hold in the net, as he went in there, his front tooth got caught in the actual hook. And as he came down, ripped out, not one, but 2 teeth. And that almost made me throw up. When I realized what happened and I saw the amount of blood, and then realized that he was missing 2 teeth and was just in pure agony.
Was it Eastbound and Down style?
Yes, of Mackle. What's
Rich McElworthy?
Yeah, McElworthy. Where's I? Yeah,
that's not fair.
So imagine. I'm going to try to use this. You got one more left. I'm going to try to use this as motivation. You're experiencing pain right now. But imagine if 2 of your front teeth were ripped out by force as they got caught in a basketball net hook.
I don't even know how you get that high up.
Well, again, it was 8 feet.
Okay.
It was we had it set at 8 feet. Yeah, we weren't vertically gifted, so we had to bring it down to 8 feet. But I've never seen anything like that. Well, and I don't think I hope I never do.
Well, we'll end on my pain with a painful Scott Bedrowski story.
Okay.
Actually, two. Love Scott. FYI, all-time leading hits guy at Wayne State.
Scott?
Does that still stand?
Probably, because Scott could probably show up right now. We could go outside, create some kind of really bizarre, obscure game,
Yeah.
and he would beat both of us at it. We would create it based on something that we felt we were good at. Like, for instance, Scott would take these wings, he would do them all. And yeah, he'd have some pain, but he'd soldier through them, and then he would just kind of, okay, all right, see you guys later, and he'd get up and leave. Mm-hmm. He's one of those guys that even the sports that he's bad at, he's better than most.
Yeah.
He's just naturally gifted like that. Nick is kind of similar to that way too.
Yes. The Bedrowski charm of competition.
But yeah, it's like it doesn't faze him.
Well,
Like there's such quick thinking that, there's all that whole paralysis by analysis when it comes to like sports, and the longer you're thinking about it, the more it gets in your head, and it depends on your headspace. Like I watch Scott golf, gets up to the ball, probably spends no more than 3 seconds, and hits the next one, and it's usually a pretty good shot. So yeah, good for them.
yeah.
Well, so these wings, there'd be no looking at them. They'd just be like, and you just completed that. Bravo, man. So what did Scott do pain-wise?
So I'm not going to be able to touch myself tonight.
Whoa.
Not like, yeah.
Not how it sounds, but yes. I am. I'm worried about taking my contacts out.
So Scott, I had a rough outing on the mound, which was usual. And Scott takes me out. I go into the dugout. He starts yelling at me while I'm sitting on the bench. I stand up, walk to the other end, fill up my water, drink it, go back to the other end. He's still reaming me. These are not tears of me crying. I went and filled up my water 3 different times before Scott was done running me through the ringer. I'm just thinking, God, Peter, shut the hell up. I get it. I had a rough outing. I get it.
Up, man.
Yeah. But that being said, I would still run through a brick wall for Scott.
Yeah. Because Scott,
and then maybe he would wings after running through that brick wall.
And then just like, hey, Scott, why don't you eat up and we'll tell you, and you sneak in one of those wings on him.
Well, let me go wash my hands, and then we'll finish this.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. I got.